Justin, welcome to On Target Equality. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me on the podcast, Bennet. I'm looking forward to telling my story.
Likewise, my friend. Well, why don't we kick things off with you giving the viewers a little taste of who Justin is?
Of course. My name is Justin Herbert. I'm from Blood, California, here in the Bay Area. Growing up, education and sports was very important to my family. So growing up, my parents were very strict when it came to school, so I always excelled in the classroom. And as for sports, I had no choice but to play sports because it ran really deep in my bloodline. So growing up, I was always that kid that always wanted to stay outside all day until it was time to eat or when the lights came on. And growing up, I was always a two-man sport, always played football and basketball until I got to high school, where
Nice.
I focused on one sport, which was basketball. Pretty much after high school, I went to Long Beach State for a year. It was a good college experience. Got to meet a lot of people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, because Long Beach itself is a very diverse community, diverse school. So it was cool to see different aspects of life. As for me, I was on the practice squad for the men's and women's basketball team. It was memorable because I got to experience what it was like to be a D1 athlete. It's always been a dream of mine to be a D1 athlete. So it was pretty interesting to see, how it was to be a D1 athlete. Then pretty much after Long Beach State, I went to Napa College, JC in Napa,
Yep.
and that's where I played basketball. It was amazing. I learned the three things I learned from there was being more overly competitive. I was always competitive my whole life, but just to learn to be more overly competitive,
Right.
be more resilient and more persistent. And I think if I had those three things, I don't think I'll be able to play college basketball. And I attack those three things like as a sales career, and I think you need those three things to be excellent in sales. Pretty much after my Napa JC days, I decided to retire my career in basketball and just focus on school and try to focus what I wanted to do after college. So I focused on that. I graduated in 2017 from Sac State with my degree in criminal justice, and it was a fun time there. It was pretty simple. Got my work done and graduated in pretty quick. Pretty much after college, Sac State, I decided to work for the startup company called Eco Refills. And within my first year there, I got promoted to warehouse manager, which was pretty cool. As for me, I'm a very
Wow.
curious person, and I have a passion for learning. I always want to know how you're doing and why you're doing it. So I've picked up things pretty quick. So they promoted me pretty quick within the company. After the pretty much I've been trying to get in tech for almost since January, February, and have a lot of mentors who are in the tech world that have been trying to help me out, try to get into the tech world. Before the whole COVID thing, I was getting rejected by a lot of jobs, interviews, not hearing back from them. So I took it upon myself since the whole COVID thing started to reach out and try to find ways to learn about the industry. So I'm in this program called Always Hired, which is a apprenticeship in the Bay Area, and pretty much it just teaches you the basics of the tech world, the sales techniques.
Gotcha. Yeah, that very coherent story there. So I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, what resonates the most to me, Justin, out of all of this stuff is that last part of, you wanted to get in tech sales, you've been applying,
Mhm.
but things just haven't really been working out. And,
Exactly.
how you've responded to rejection is by applying yourself and furthering yourself with this Always Hired program. To me, there isn't anything that sort of encapsulates someone's character more so than how they respond to adversity or rejection. And
Mhm.
your attitude to want to, okay, I've been labeled as maybe someone who's not ready for this industry, but I'm going to take some steps to learn the acumen, to develop maybe a skill set that prepares me better for the interviews is very, very commendable. um,
Mhm.
I guess in your experience, right, like let's say that you didn't do Always Hired, if you sit back and do nothing, what would actually happen? I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
And I think if I didn't go upon myself and reach out to this program, I'd probably just be sitting back waiting for the world to go back to normal and just be lazy, and that's not in me. I'm very competitive. Even though I got rejected by a lot of jobs before, that didn't stop me from, keep continuing what I want to do. I think if I get into this in the tech industry, I think good things can happen for me and the people around me.
I love it, man. Both of your coaches, both in high school and at Napa, I spoke to directly, and they said that you were a grinder. So, I mean, that sort of is summarized in what you're describing here. And I'll be honest, man. I don't know what the exact number is. 60 to 70%, I'd say, of the people who are already in tech sales are just enjoying the ride. It's
Mhm.
like they've got their foot in the door, they've got their their benefits and their job and their LinkedIn title, and that's going to be the sort of ground that they stand on, and approach every single opportunity that they have. I've worked with a lot of people, managers
Mhm.
included, and then when something gets hard, they don't have the best accounts. Luck is not on their side with specific opportunities or quotas. They turn into what I call yes but people. Yes,
Mhm.
but I didn't have this opportunity. Yes, but I don't have these accounts. Yes, but I've got this going on. And they're just waiting to be rescued.
Mhm.
And this experience, I know is as uncomfortable it probably is to not have, someone say, hey, Justin, we want you right out of the gate, is going to serve you, man, in duplicative, multiplier ways once you actually get your foot in the door in this industry, because this is how you grow. This is
Yeah.
exactly how you grow. And, from my perspective, I would want someone 10 times out of 10 who has your attitude, when faced with adversity and rejection.
Mhm.
I guess the other thing I wanted to understand is you said you started off at Eco Refill, as sort of an entry level position, but then you got promoted within the first year.
Yes.
I guess what was it about your performance that stood out to your managers that motivated them to want to move you up so quickly?
Yeah, so pretty much I'm a very fast learner. I pick up things very quick. If I'm curious about something, I'm going to ask questions like, how are you doing that? Why are you doing it? And I was kind of surprised that, they promoted me within a year, because there were other people that's been there before me. But I guess they just seen the leadership, the dedication, just me wanting to learn more about the company. So they seen a lot of growth in me, I guess you can say. Um, and just being a warehouse manager it's not that bad of a job. I thought it was going to be a lot of stress doing that, going to point A, point B, point C, but it's pretty fun, just to see other employees get the work done. I'm a very chill, laid back warehouse manager, so I let people do what they want to do as long as they get the work done, and just learning the in and outs of the company. So it was amazing experience being a warehouse manager.
Yeah, that's cool. Your boss or supervisor there, she shared with me a pretty funny story that again kind of hits the nail on the head with your grinder kind of approach. Is I guess there was a morning where you had to be into the warehouse super early, but your car had broke down two
Uh,
and a half miles or 2 miles from the office, and rather than calling in with the dog ate my homework excuse, or sitting one on the sidelines, you actually ran to the office, um, so that you were on time.
Yeah, exactly. What's funny is before that day, I came from a basketball game. I was going to tell myself, hey, I'm going to go get gas that night, but I decided not to get gas that night. So I'm leaving my job or my house at 4 a.m. and I pull over, my car runs out on the side of the road in the neighborhood. And I have a lot of stuff on me. So I just ran with my phone, my wallet, and my warehouse key. I'm just 2.5 miles to work. And by the time I get to work, it took about 30 minutes. I'm drenched in sweat. And by the time I come back from, the warehouse, from my delivery, my boss is like, hey, where's your car? I was like, I left my car. I ran out of gas in one of the neighborhoods back there. And she's like, I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew I seen your car. And she was like, why didn't you call us? And I was like, I didn't want to, you guys have a lot on your plate. I didn't want to, have you guys wake up early because of my mistake. I'm the type of person, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are. I'm just going to get it done. And that's what happened.
Man, and she told me that moment cemented her trust in you,
Mm-hmm.
Justin. that she knew that she could depend on you. You were, reliable, and now it makes sense as to why you were promoted, is doing little deeds like that. And yeah, I mean, the bottom line, man, is that you don't need to find a job, Justin. You just need to keep seeking, and
Exactly.
seeking progress, just like you're doing right now. And I'm hoping that someone who watches this thing provides that opportunity for you. And I don't second guess you at all. I think that you are absolutely fit, qualified, and will be a above sort of elite status salesperson eventually. You just need your foot in the door. So I'm excited to see what pans out here, and I wish you best here in all of your interview process and remaining journey.
Thank you. I appreciate for having me on this podcast, and I love what you're doing with this podcast with your company. So I appreciate everything you're doing for us.
I appreciate you being a part of it.
Thank
Hope
you.
you have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, Bennett.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.